Hello, Internet, and welcome to Gamer Flavor.
I'm glad that's how
It's
you open up your streams.
it's me, Beaker. I don't even know if I've called myself that, but I figured we needed to. And I've got a guest here gaming with me today, a good friend of mine.
Yellow, I'm Ricky.
So we're gonna play through Half-Life 2. He's I don't know. Have you played through any of these games?
I am vaguely familiar with the Half-Life series, so it was one of those games that was just a little too old when I was gaming. But I went through Half-Life 2 with the co-op mod once.
Co-op mods. Oh, okay. So you've actually played through this game.
Yes,
Is there any difference, like as far as the story is concerned, with the co-op mod?
there were some things that they couldn't do whenever they made the mod to hinder the player, so to speak. So like, there are probably places that we weren't supposed to be able to get to, but we could jump on each other and things like that.
Huh. Okay.
So like it broke the game in that sense. There were some places like that, but overall the story just acted like it was one Gordon Freeman.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, like cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah, they just acted like they were one of us, even though there were two of us with all of our tomfoolery. We were wrecking all of their shit.
Nice. Well, I figure we could review the first game's story just real brief for people who have not seen it. But I did play through it, and it's on my YouTube as well. But the first game, you are Gordon Freeman, fresh out of MIT, and you're working for Black Mesa, which is a weapons development company. Um, and you're basically the new guys, so they send you into this experimental device that seems to open up portals to another dimension. And
And that's why you end up with the suit that gives you
right,
your what's the word? Your like reticule and stuff like that.
yeah, you're targeting reticle and your health and armor and the ability to. I think it helps you run. It makes you stronger and stuff. So they put you in the sweet suit. You go into the area with the big machine, and I'm not quite clear if Gordon made a mistake or if it was just going to happen because the machine was messed up or they didn't know what they were doing. But whenever you try to follow the instructions of the other senior scientists, it opens a rift and you are transported for a moment. You see like this other dimension with these creatures that are very alien, and it's not quite clear if you went through like to another dimension, an alternate reality, or if you went to another place in space. But either way, it's a foreign planet, alien-looking creatures, and then you're blipped back. But now these things are popping up in our reality and just wrecking havoc all over the facility of Black Mesa. So then you try to escape, and people are dying left and right. You've got to make your way through this giant maze of a facility as you're getting killed by you're attacked by these alien creatures.
And at
Um,
this point, his thing is to get back to the scientists that are gonna try to fix it.
right, yeah, you're trying to get to Lambda Core, or the Lambda team, which they're like, yeah, I mean, we might be able to fix it. You get some communication from them. They're trying to help you get to them. And you're a hero to these scientists, probably because I was surprised he could swing a crowbar like he could. I don't know what sports he did at MIT,
Well, the
but
suit helped a lot.
sure, that's true. But Gordon Freeman's got no fear. Makes his
People
way
love Gordon
to,
Freeman.
huh?
People love Gordon Freeman.
They do. Um, he makes his way to the Lambda team. Then they tell you that they've developed a portal to be able to get you into that alternate reality where you need to take out like the head alien thing that is causing these creatures to keep teleporting into our world. And when you get there, a little side note, it's a weird, almost Lovecraftian space environment with floating rocks. Gravity doesn't work the same way. There's creatures and plant life that are all weird. And you find out, though, that humans have been here for a while because there are a lot of human um, bases set up where they're doing experiments. And these have all gone to hell, though, because all the humans there are dead or turned into these creatures where head crabs, kind of like the Alien movie, jump onto their heads and then, like, I don't know, eat their heads or consume them, and then they can control the body and attack you with claws and stuff.
Nice.
So, you make your way through these facilities. It's just devastation. And basically, you work your way through the alien realm and make it to the big head boss, which looks like a giant baby with a big head, and it like floats there and has these shield devices around it. So
You're talking about the like final boss.
yeah, that's the final boss.
It's
Well,
it's
I'm
called.
jumping ahead a little bit.
I mean, we don't need to go through every detail, but yeah, that's Gonark.
No, that's not the final boss. That's what I actually was just about to mention. I realized I'd skipped.
Oh, okay.
Gunark is like a giant head crab, except it's got this big ass nut sack hanging down underneath it that it runs up to you and it like swings them nuts and slaps you with them. That was something else. Um, but after you have this epic deal with him or her where you're trying to attack it with a rocket launcher. And throughout the alien realm, the scientists keep teleporting like supplies to you. So you'll get just like a tube that's got rockets in it and health packs and armor packs. And so you fight this creature. You don't kill it. You end up running from it because you just can't kill it even with a rocket launcher. And there's this whole chase portion of the game where you're running from it and it's just like getting at you and trying to kill you and you can't even damage it. Um, and then you make your way to this clearing, and you have to actually have a final battle with Gunark. I think that's his name, right?
Yeah, Gonark is the egg-laying head crab.
Yeah. So, and also along the way, it's like dropping head crabs that keep coming at you um, as you're running through like little tunnels and stuff, trying to avoid it as it stabs through them and attacks you. So it's pretty epic. Then you have this final battle with it in an open area, and just keep blasting it. Frank Reynolds style, and eventually it dies. And then you make your way on through the world, and you get to Nihileth? Nihilanth?
Yeah, you take a portal that sends you to a cave where you confront Nihilanth.
Yeah. Well, Nihilanth is like, from the very beginning of getting there, you see this tower in the distance that's floating on like a floating island in space that has this light emanating from it. And it makes it pretty clear, oh, that's where I'm supposed to go. So once you get to it, you take a portal, and then you end up, in that cave. And this giant baby creature that can use telepathy and like launch things at you, or it can blast laser beams at you from its hands. And you have to take down its shields around it with the rocket launcher. And then once it's exposed, you just keep blasting. And one of the cool things he would do is he would open portals in the sky and like launch items from Earth at you, like a tank or a truck or something. And
That's
then you would
fucking sick.
yeah, and then you would see portals open and just like pieces of Black Mesa would drop out of the sky, and you would see like a desk and a bunch of cabinets and stuff, and maybe some ammo and armor and things like that. So he's just like ripping from your dimension to pull stuff out to try and kill you. And eventually, you blast him enough, and the back of his head opens up, and he's like spinning around, and he's got this crystal thing inside of his head, and you blast that, and it kills him. And uh, the crazy thing is, after you kill him, you get teleported away, and you see the explosion in the distance. But then, like, time stops, and
You're
this guy
summoned by
shows up.
the mysterious G-Man.
Yeah, so I don't think he identifies himself at all at that point, but yeah, he's the G-Man in the Half-Life series, and he's very weird and off-putting. He's kind of like the Smoking Man in uh, X-Files, just lacking charisma and very robotic.
Well,
And he's
I
a
know I know of the G-Man because what is it? He says he wants to give Gordon a job, right?
yes,
And
yes. So you have to choose whether or not to accept it at the end of
and
the game.
you clearly in the story choose to accept it, and then you go start Half-Life 2 after you go to like stasis or some shit.
Right. Well, I did both endings when I played it. So I just saved beforehand and reloaded. So the first one I did was declining the job, where you just sit there and you don't go through the portal. And he's like, you'll have a battle that you cannot win if you do that. And so basically, it teleports you back into the alien realm, and there's just an army of these creatures, and you just kind of it fades out like you're obviously gonna die. Um,
Oh, you don't get to fight? It
yeah,
just
I was hoping you would get to fight and it would just like you could last as long as possible. But they don't do that. They just have you like fade out.
well, that I like that because this is a story-driven game. That's the story that they wrote. I like that.
Yeah, and it's been a good story. And what really impressed me was how old the game is. Like they remastered it with Black Mesa, but they didn't really change the guts of it from what I've seen. It's just that they altered the textures. I don't think they really changed any of the story or the gameplay beyond making it look better.
Well, the story is a lot more epic than Half-Life 2. I think people generally consider Half-Life 2 to be a better game overall, but what you just told me was like way more epic than most of the stuff I remember happening in Half-Life 2
Hmm.
up until the end.
Well, Half-Life 2, like from what I'm seeing, on a side note, while you were running through Black Mesa, the military is trying to kill you as well. They come in to clean house at one point. And all this takes place, I think, over the course of a day. Um, you know, the shit's released. Uh, People are dying left and right. They're worried about it expanding, so the military comes in and starts killing everyone. You know, any witnesses, people, just the scientists,
Are
any
these
of the
the
aliens.
people that are like on the screen right now, those soldiers?
Similar, I think, yeah. I'm not sure if these are more. This isn't what they look like. They specifically said they were Marines
Okay.
in the Half-Life 1 game.
Yeah, these
They didn't.
guys are not Marines.
No, these are more like enforcement or cops, local cops or something. So what I think happened, they issued a warning in Half-Life 1 at one point. You walk past this car and you hear the president announcing that he's going to bomb uh, that area. And he basically tells everybody, get out of Arizona because we're going to bomb it. And so you do see bombing runs happen and stuff while you're playing. And eventually you have to escape into that other dimension to stop this whole situation. But what I think has now happened is they weren't able to contain the spread, is what it looks like. And so now there's martial law everywhere. And
Yes.
that's kind of my assumption of where we're at.
Yeah, that's basically what's up.
Okay. So I think we're caught up. Did you have any questions about Half-Life 1 I didn't cover?
Not a question, more of a placement of time. So when they were using the teleportation devices, was that Portal?
The teleportation devices were.
You know,
It
like when they
wasn't
were
like.
teleporting him stuff, and he went
No,
through basically portals to get to this dimension,
it
and then
it
they
might
say
be the
portals in this world.
it might be the precursor to the Portal technology, but it wasn't like Portals in the Portal game. So which was developed by two different companies. Black Mesa is the weapons development company that all this you know shit spawned from, but Portal is Aperture Science. So they're two different companies, and the technology looks different. So in in the alien realm, when you use a portal, I don't. Their technology looks like it's almost natural to the environment that they're from.
Like
Like you're
magic or
used,
something.
well, not magic exactly, but like, you know how we have creatures underwater that have bioluminescence that they just have, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like their plant life just has the ability to portal people. That's what it looks like, unless their technology is just, um, you know, looks more organic. It looks like it's naturally occurring. But anyway, the portals in there that you use to blip around are like spherical green energy balls that you walk into that are about the size of a person or a little smaller. It's not like a portal where it's a hole in reality. So it's a bit different. It may have their discoveries at Black Mesa may have spawned uh, the portal gun technology for aperture science. So it could be that they developed that off of what they learned from Black Mesa's incident.
Right. Well, people always said that Half-Life 3 was gonna have you were gonna have a portal gun.
Well, wasn't originally Portal developed to uh, it was supposed to be a play test for the portal gun that was going to be in Half-Life 3, if I remember correctly. And they had all these platforms and puzzles, and then they just fleshed it out and turned it into a full game.
It was dope.
Yeah, it was one of the best games I've ever played. Play Portal and Portal 2 if you haven't.
You know what? Let's turn off Half-Life 2 and play Portal.
I gotta, well, and the main reason I want to get through Half-Life 1 and 2 is so that I can play Alex, because I've got that sitting in my library and I haven't played it yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, let's do this.
I'm ready. Point insertion. Nice.